It is getting tough. It is getting worse. Now, honestly speaking, Babu Owino, the area MP, why should you just leave your work na kwenda pale Jakaranda kuingilia vita ambazo hazikuhusu, when here in this area tunazo insecurities, hakuna kazi. Badala wewe mwenyewe ushughulikie hizo kazi, ushughulikie kazi ambayo wananchi walikuelect ufanye, umeelekea pale Jakaranda kwa vita ambazo hazikuhusu. Is it really right? Uweza pia kumsaidia kujibu hilo swali, maana mimi sioni if that is honestly right.
Now, one thing you need to know, people are dragging the name of Babu Owino into these politics. I know Babu Owino and I've known him since his college times, though not as a personal friend. I've never met him, but I've always heard about Babu Owino. Babu Owino being the MP of Embakasi East, it would be stooping too low to get involved.
That is what I was actually saying. Yani anaacha kazi ambazo anafaa kufanyia wale ambao walimchagua. Yuko pale Jakaranda.
And that is why I'm saying people are dragging his name into this. If Babu Owino wanted to break Bunge la Mwananchi Jakaranda, it would take him less than, let me say, a day to do that. And being that we've been through this more than a week, he is not part of it. People are just using his name, perhaps for him to lend a hand in that war, but he is not involved. What I may say is the area MCA is perhaps involved, because on Saturday I was not around, but I was told he was with that fraction of Luya community. I don't want to drag his name into what I don't know. Perhaps he met them as a Mulembe nation to discuss things which are not Bunge la Mwananchi perspective. Yeah.
But on your side, wewe uona vipi? Wana ya kwamba the MCA akija, Babu Owino pia aje, do you think that wanaweza kutoka kwenye hiyo seat?
Kunitoa kwenye seat is not about Babu Owino. It is not about the area MCA, and to make it more interesting, it's not even about the sitting president of Kenya. It is about... I said it's not even about the sitting president, Dr. William Ruto. It is about the people. The day those people will decide that I'm not going to be their president, that is the very day I will stop being a president. But until then, I am the rightfully elected president of Bunge la Mwananchi Jakaranda. And any war that is trying to negate their will as a people, we are going to fight it to the end. Yes.
What keeps you moving? Because the way you're answering these my questions, you're just answering them with courage. Yani unajiaminia yani tena sana. So what keeps you moving this political world?
Perhaps courage is my fourth name, because I've always believed in saying what I feel, doing what I feel is right, and that is what I'm doing. I feel whatever I've been saying is the right thing, and no one can stop me from saying whatever I've said. I can even repeat them in presence of any individual, because they are the right things according to me. In politics, if you are a person who do not stand by his words, you cannot thrive in politics. And politics requires a stand. The moment I decided to go for that office, I took a stand. And at no point will I do anything that is contrary to what is required of me as the president of Bunge la Mwananchi Jakaranda. Yes.
Wow, that's nice. Na unajua huku Kenya kuna tatizo la corruption tena sana. So tuseme kwamba hapo mahala ambapo naongoza sasa hivi Jakaranda, tuseme kwamba things actually they have just become very tough. And you don't have any way to help your people. Alafu upate ya kwamba kuna kale kapesa kadogo tu ambako kameingia. Na wewe mwenyewe una mahitaji yako, una majukumu yako. What will you do? Will you just corrupt others?
Now, corruption is not within my dictionary. And it will not be in my office. It will never be in my office. And I know I have the capacity to mobilize, or rather to lobby for the finances to come to that bunge la mwananchi Jacaranda. So I don't want to buy into your statement that perhaps if it gets worse to a point that we cannot realize any finances at bunge la mwananchi. And one thing that I also want to make clear is that I have something that can keep me moving, or rather my own life. So I don't depend on what is meant for others to sustain me. And that is what will always happen.
Lakini unajua huku Kenya politicians wengi unapata kwamba hawana kitu kingine ambayo ina keep moving, ni zile pesa tu ambazo anapata kutoka kwenye serikali. Na wewe kuingia kwenye presidential seat, ulikuwa qualifications gani ambazo waliangalia ndiposa mtu anaingia kwenye presidential seat?
Now in bunge la mwananchi Jacaranda, the qualifications are very clear. We don't get too much into education, though I think even if they bring education on board, I will still be qualified to be the president. What we look at is Chapter 6 of our Constitution. Do you meet the Chapter 6 criteria? That is regarding the office. And I met that qualification. And meeting that Chapter 6 would mean that corruption is not part of me.
What does it state, ukituambia?
That question would mean that you are not a Kenyan, or rather you don't like
I am a Kenyan, I love my nation, but maybe kuna wale ambao wanatazama wako zile za Chapter 6 inasema nini?
Chapter 6 is generally talking about your characters to hold the office. You having any corruption case, and like the national government, when it is being formed, you realize that bunge la mwananchi, we are trying to copy what is happening nationally. For you to qualify to be a president of the Republic of Kenya, they are looking at your track record. In your track record, are there corruption cases? As much as in Kenya it is not being followed to the letter, but it should be followed. And that is why when you submit your papers to IEBC, they go further to interrogating you about how you acquired your things, or other corruption cases that you